Yeah, I had to time that person out. Sorry. I ain't gonna have that. Like, I don't care if you come in here and be an asshole, but I'm not gonna have that. Take that shit somewhere else. How's it going, Chris? I wonder if Judge wasn't on there, was it? All right, I'm just gonna start blocking people. All right, cool.
And on the other side, and you're Jake and Nikisa, they just don't do stuff like this. You know, the interesting part of it though is the 190 versus 192. So this is essentially Misfits, Mams, KSI saying they are willing to make 190 pounds. It was for a long time. I mean, how far do we want to go back? It's been 7 years of us doing this, 7 years trying to get this fight done. But I think originally it was supposed to be like 180, then it was 185 now. But you see, Misfits continues to push their end of the bargain. Like 180, okay, no, not going to happen. 185, 187.5. Now they're at 190, and 190 is where I said the fight should have been made. I do believe that Jake can make the weight. I believe that because I'm pretty sure he said he would make 190 for Canelo or something like that, right? Or Nikisa said that. So I do think that Jake can make the weight. Do I think it's easy for him? Do I think it's going to be comfortable? Do I think it's going to be something he wants to do? No. Absolutely not, especially since he went up to 230 or whatever it was for Mike Tyson. But for one fight, I think Jake could do. For the right money, the right price, all that stuff. That's why Jake has said he'll come down for Canelo, because he values Canelo. He'll come down I think it's 195 for Gervonta Davis, which we'll get to that in a second, because he values the Gervonta fight, even though that'll probably be an exhibition and that's an insane fight that makes no sense. But my point is, Jake has made it pretty comfortable and pretty clear that he wants to be at 200 pounds for the rest of his competitive, I'm chasing a championship boxing career. So to come below 200 to 190 is going to be a very difficult thing to ask for because of, I guess, what they've stipulated they want to do with him and where they want to keep him weight-wise. He can do it, but he's only going to do it if the money is there, if it's substantial to them, if the value is there to them. And I've said this the whole time, they do not value the KSI fight like Misfits do. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing or whatever. Like, however you want to look at that, make your own mind up. Does Jake have bigger fights than that out there? Potentially. But to me, it's the fight I want to see most. But it doesn't mean that that's the most valuable fight for Jake to them. Like, if you're talking Anthony Joshua, if you're talking, let's say he beats Julio Cesar Chavez and you can get him into a title fight, like somehow, some way. Nikisa decided he was going to clap back. By the way, Nikisa has his own Twitter now. This is good. We get Nikisa on his tweet saying, "Dear Lord, you'll do anything for a few clicks. So let's be real then. Wasserman has had the offer/contract for 15 days. So apparently MVP sent over to Wasserman, which is a big delineation. Stay with me. Nikisa does not want to deal with names. This is clear. This is why he continues to reference Wasserman, not Misfits. Nissa and Callie Sauerland, not Mams Taylor. He wants to deal, again, through what they consider the actual business partners of KSI's boxing side, Wasserman Boxing. He does not want to acknowledge Misfits, doesn't want to acknowledge Mams Taylor, even though he kind of is by quote tweeting him here. He says they've had the contract for 15 days. Now, this was on May 17th. So they had sent it over on May 2nd, which I assume, I'm not sure why that's the day they decided to send it over, but I have to assume it has to do with KSI taking time off and them going, okay, if KSI is going to take time off, this is the time to start talking about this fight, because you don't have him getting into another fight soon. You don't have him fighting, Dylan Dennis. I'm pretty sure KSI is going to have hand surgery. Then you see December 24th as the date. That date's not official, but that's the date that they have put in this contract. This tells me that they looked at KSI taking that time that he's going to take off here for hand surgery or whatever. to say, let's do this now before they book another fight. But anyway, here was their stipulation. 10 rounds, 192.5, 18 by 18 foot ring, which is, I think, the same one that Ben and Eubank used. Full VADA program, not like the limited testing you did with KSI and Tommy. Okay. December 24th, Christmas Eve. That's pretty interesting. MVP in association with Wasserman. Again, not acknowledging Misfits at all. If that doesn't work, good luck against Mayweather or whoever other massive fight you have for KSI on Misfits. We wish you all the best. December 24th is an interesting date because that's Christmas Eve. Like, I don't know how many people are going to be paying attention to boxing on Christmas Eve, but you do have Christmas Day for the NFL, for the NBA, stuff like that. But I just don't think I've ever heard of a Christmas Eve boxing match. Maybe there has been, but I don't know. Most of the time, you're kind of with your family. You're kind of doing stuff. But if they did it on Christmas Eve, people would watch. I mean, people would watch if they did it on February 30th, which is not a real day. You get what I'm saying? But it's a Wednesday. That's even more interesting. I couldn't care less what the date is. I think that people would watch because it's Jake and KSI. Now the casual fan, I don't know about, but this one sells itself on whatever day of the year, I guess. So that's not a massive thing to me. The big stuff I take away from that is the 18 by 18, the 10 rounds, and obviously the weight. He still doesn't want to acknowledge Misfits, so that might be a problem. The 10 rounds is something Jake has continued to do. KSI's never fought past 6. So they're not going to jump him from 6 to 10. That's not going to happen, y'all. Unless he has a fight in between where he has an 8-round fight, they're not going to go 6 to 10. So I would say right now that's another thing where it's like, okay, I don't see a reason Jake and them wouldn't come down to 8, but I think that JJ, like, he has to at least do 8. He has to. And if he doesn't do that in his next fight, they're definitely not going to do 10 for this. And it would be another reason why this fight wouldn't happen. KSI has to come back, have a fight with somebody before a Jake fight and do 8 rounds. He has to. So, Nikisa, excuse me, says, hey man, we sent you an offer 2 and you insisted we redline yours. Yours is one-sided, ours is fair, and clearly a real attempt to make the fight actually happen. Our offer, KSI versus Jake. Coin flip for ring walk order. MVP to promote it as Jake versus KSI, and Misfit to promote it as KSI versus Jake, with the zone alternating. Okay, that seems massively complicated. Ridiculously complicated. How would the zone alternate? I guess like for a press conference, one's going to say KSI versus Jake and the next one. But at the end of the day, you're going to have on fight night one thing on the thing. If I'm Mams, I just have to concede that it's Jake versus KSI. I think that just has to be the concession. He says USA, full VADA testing, 190, 8 rounds, 20 by 20 foot ring, co-promoted down the middle, 50-50. That's fair. Both promotions to mutually approve all costs and undercard fights, etc. Okay, so let's just stop there for a second. It's in the USA. I almost think it would do better in KSI's backyard. I think that it would just, for the atmosphere of it, for, like, you want Jake to be a villain in this thing, and he plays that character way better than JJ does. Just because people genuinely don't like Jake, at least I think more so. I think putting it in the UK is a better idea. If they do it in USA, like, that's fine too, whatever. I just think, man, they could really get some people to the arena in the UK. Like, they could get a stadium sold out there. I'm not sure about the US. I know they could sell a big thing here in the US, but UK would be crazy. Then we have 190 pounds. I mean, yeah, we're talking about 1 kilogram. Someone's going to have to make a sacrifice, and I genuinely think it's going to be KSI again. And I keep saying, KSI, you gotta. Realistically, that's the only way it goes down. And I hate to tell you guys that, but that's the truth. The only way this fight happens is if KSI and Misfits make more concessions than MVP does. That's it. I think that the biggest thing they could get out of this is a 20 by 20. I can see MVP going, all right, fine, 20 by 20. I can see them going, okay, 50-50, cool. But they're going to have to give up 190, I think. I think KSI is going to have to be 192.5. I genuinely think that. Those two things, I think they're going to have to move off of in order to actually get this done. I think if they move off these two things and say, cool, 192.5, cool, 10 rounds, then this stuff, 20 by 20, co-promote, whatever, like all these little other things can be worked out pretty easy. If you really want to make the fight, if you really think that your guy is going to beat him no matter the concessions, you give up those two things and the fight's yours. You don't give up those two things and Jake still is going to go and fight whoever. Now, this could change. Let's say Jake loses to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Things can change very quick, but as it stands right now, and if he does beat Julio Cesar Chavez, they got to give up those two. In my opinion, your contract as MVP as lead promoter in charge of everything, and you put Wasserman Boxing USA as a side promoter. FYI, Wasserman Boxing USA does not even exist. You purposely omitted Misfits as an ego-based mind game tactic. Come on, man. Let's give the people what they want, not egos, and not let egos get in the way. We have a duty to our clients and respect due to the fans that we made. Weight has always been the number one issue. Since you're so confident Woodley wins against Till in the boxing match, let's gamble. Let's put our money where our mouth is. P.S. I don't care about clicks, but I do care about making this fight long overdue. Okay, I agree with all of this stuff. Like, yeah, Nikisa's being a little petty when it comes to naming Wasserman, because Wasserman does run the business into this. So he's taking a shot by being like, yeah, MVP Wasserman, not MVP Misfits. And I do think that Mams is genuinely trying to make the fight. And I think that Nikisa genuinely is his offer is a genuine one, but it's just who's going to budge. It's a game of chicken and who's going to budge. And the person that budges, by the way, is not weak for budging. In fact, it's bravery to me. The person that budges and genuinely concedes the thing they don't want to concede is an act of, you could call it, desperation. You could say it's you got played by the art of the deal, brother, like that kind of thing. But to me, it's an act of bravery to say, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to take the disadvantage. Talk about it with Chris Eubank Jr. We just talked about it in his fight a couple weeks ago. Took the weight disadvantage, took the rehydration clause, took the fines, took all that stuff, went in there, still won. Somebody is going to have to do that. And the person that does it, I think it should be considered an act of bravery. And again, it will show that they want the fight, in my opinion. Anyway, Nikisa says, not engaging in a back and forth, we proposed our terms to Wasserman on April 4th, and the offer that followed was those exact terms. Jake Paul wants to fight KSI. He does not need to fight KSI. Jake has campaigned at 200 plus since December of 2023 and plans to continue it that way with the intention, winning a world championship by the end of 2026. Okay, that's interesting. But this is kind of what I said. Jake has decided he wants to fight at cruiserweight, and jumping up and down in weight is not a good idea if he wants to actually win a world title. So for him to do that, Jake, Nikisa, and MVP need to see this fight at the number they want. Otherwise, they have other options. And by the way, neither guy needs the fight. Let's be clear here. Neither guy needs the fight at all. I see this thing online where it's like, oh, KSI doesn't need it. Or Jake needs KSI because without boxing, Jake has nothing. That's not true. And I'm going to tell you in both respects, it's not true. KSI only needs Jake because that's what he said he would come back to do. But as far as boxing, KSI doesn't need to do that. We've talked about it. He has the prime. He has the Sidemen. He has the Britain's Got Talent. He has the music. He has the YouTube, right? He has the new soccer league, whatever. But Jake doesn't need KSI. And quite frankly, Jake doesn't need boxing. He doesn't. People act like Jake's going to go broke if he stopped boxing today. That's not going to happen. Jake has some, I don't know what the thing is called, some investment fund thing that I'm pretty sure he just cashed out on. He's got the W. He's got the Celsius deal. He's got the freaking Doghouse Burgers things. He's got the Better Gambling Company. He's got all those things as well. Both of these guys have diversified outside of boxing. So let's not act either of them needs to do at all, period. Let alone boxing each other. If we get this fight, it will be because of the reason we always wanted this fight. These two dudes don't like each other, and they stepped into a ring to prove it early on, and we're still 7 years later waiting on the damn answer. And this is why I said this. Mams put out this tweet, Jake doesn't need to fight KSI. KSI doesn't even need to fight. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, neither does Jake, right? They don't need to fight. Jake has a plan to fight for the world championship. That's his goal. Just like KSI's goal in boxing was to fight Jake. But neither of them need to do it. Jake's just made more money doing it. That's all. That's where we're at with this whole KSI, Jake Paul situation. And this is why I said at the beginning of the video, we're not any closer than we were. Maybe we're closer in weight. Maybe we're closer in terms of the ends of their careers, but we're not closer to getting this fight on paper because they're where they get one step closer in weight, they get 2 steps further in ringside. 1 step closer in rounds, they get 2 steps further away and whose name's gonna go first. It doesn't make anybody happy when these things go on publicly, because all it does is both promoters put out tweets and they galvanize their base and it pushes them further away.
If you're going to build a rivalry and you're going to build the best, you can't have the best versus the worst. Like, there's no reason that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese should be a rivalry. It's just they're not even in the same league. I'm sorry. They're not even in the same league. Yes, they're in the same WNBA, but Caitlin Clark, you can't even compare the two together at all. There's nothing comparable about them. Nothing. At all. Zero. Caitlin Clark is a fucking superstar, and Angel Reese is somebody that'll be gone in a couple of years. That's what's going to happen. She ain't staying around. She's building her blog and her social media and shit outside of the WNBA. She's not going to stick around. She's not. So if you want to build a rivalry, here's who you build it with. This girl right here. You build the rivalry between these two. Freaking, she's already breaking records. And she's only been, had 3 games this season? Already breaking records 3 games in? I'm pretty sure it's 3 games. Let me know if I'm wrong. It might be 4 by the time you see this video, but this is the group. This is the 2 people you build a rivalry around. Not Angel fucking Reese. I'm sorry. They're both 23. They're both just starting. And they're both breaking records. That's your rivalry right there. Like, comment, and share.
So which would you recommend?
Do you like brown?
Yeah, some things are just better at home. With Empire's Home Floor Advantage, you can compare samples in your own space.
Call or visit EmpireToday.com and get the home floor advantage.
Empire.
All the license plates that come through. I post them online.
You have a warrant?
A warrant?
Yes. Why you have a warrant? Why you taking license?
A warrant? What are you talking about, a warrant?
You don't have a right to take pictures of license.
Dude, you're in public. Have you ever heard of the First Amendment?
You have a right to take public license.
Bro,
I'm the sheriff right now.
call the sheriff. It's public information, bro.
Okay,
Why would they put it outside of your car if they didn't want other people to see it?
But you're not supposed to without my permission.
Bro, you're in public.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Have you heard of the First Amendment, sir?
Yes, I have.
Well, then you should know I'm allowed to do this in public.
You have no right to-
Freedom of press, sir. Freedom of press.
What is your purpose? What is your intention?
I'm taking videos of all the license plates. We post them online, bro. I'm just doing a story. Calm down.
All right.
It's just a story, man.
All right. I just
Have a nice day, bro.
All right, bro.
It's just a story.
All right. Take it easy, man.
What's going on?
What do you take picture of the car?
Bro, it's just a license plate.
Why?
Take it easy, man.
I'm not taking it easy. I work for
You work for the police, then you should know I'm allowed to do this.
No, you're not. You have not a complaint.
Oh, okay. Arrest me then right now. Arrest me. You're a dumbass.
What are you talking about?
Can you not? Put it down.
Stand right here, please.
No. Put it down. Put it down.
It's just a camera. Don't take it easy. Take it easy. What do you mean? You're recording too.
Put it down. I don't consent.
Consent to what?
I don't consent to this. I see your pass.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
So? All right, take it easy. You know what we're doing? Yeah. All right. It's just a camera, though. Come on. Let's take it easy, all right? What are you worried about? What are you worried about?
I don't want to.
Well, you're filming now. Watch out. Watch out.
What's that, man? I just get all the plates that come through today.
Why?
We post them online. We got TikTok, Instagram,
But
YouTube.
why are you posting? I don't want my car license plate on TikTok or anything.
Well, ma'am, why would they put a license plate on the outside of your car if they didn't want people to see
Why
it?
would someone stand on the sidewalk and be taking pictures of everyone's license plates?
I'm just getting pictures, ma'am. You don't need to know why I'm doing it.
Oh, I do.
You need to
Do you
know?
have a card, a business card?
I
You need to know.
Because I don't want my license plate posted on TikTok or any social media.
It's already on the internet.
Oh, I know it is. That's fine.
What's the problem?
I don't think you guys, I'm gonna call the sheriff and let them know.
All right.
You know what? If you have had some authorization and don't show me, show it to me.
On the wall in there. You can go look inside.
Well, I don't need any authorization to be out here and take pictures. I'm on the sidewalk.
On personal property, and there's a poster in there that gives us permission to record on personal property.
But why are you recording? That's what I don't get. Yeah, why are you gonna use, what are you using it for? I
Put on the internet.
We can't disclose any more information, ma'am.
Yeah, I can't tell you
We
anymore.
can't disclose
Put it on
anything.
the internet tomorrow.
Our contract says we can't disclose any of that.
We work for the American people.
Well, I am the American people, so you're working for me.
Oh no!
You don't have to answer to our bosses.
I'm not your boss.
Everyone is. I'm my own boss. He's my boss.
I'm my own boss, but I'm not your boss.
Perfect.
And I don't think you guys should be doing that. And I know you're filming me right now.
I don't think you should be trying to stop people from exercising their constitutionally protected rights.
You know what? I'm stopping every day.
So, well, you got to stop that from happening. This is how you stop that. Don't film me.
We're filming everybody that comes in today.
Why?
We're doing a peaceful exercise of our First Amendment rights. Do you believe in the Constitution?
I do, but I just think this is I think you should tell people what you're doing before you just do it.
I literally just told you when you asked.
I had to ask.
Doesn't matter. Stop.
I know, I'm just saying.
Freedom doesn't come with conditions. That wouldn't be free.
Too bad we have CapCut, bro. We'll take all that out. And you're not even staying for 30 seconds. It has to be 30 seconds.
I'm sorry, what?
It has to be 30 seconds.
Did you say something to me?
That doesn't.
Join me and my friends for the biggest match of the year, live inside the stadium in Munich. Stream the UEFA Champions League final on Beckham and Friends live, May 31st, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
That doesn't work anymore. The music gets edited right out. So you care enough to play it.
You care enough to talk about it.
Perfect. Perfect. Freedom only when it's for you guys, right? Perfect.
No, not at all.
Yep. Not when it's inconvenient, apparently.
It's not inconvenient. It's the courtesy of asking.
You don't need to ask permission to exercise freedom. That defeats it being freedom. What do you not understand about that? You don't need permission to exercise your rights. Damn, just try to smack it. You almost got smacked.
Just record everyone that comes through today. We're just out here exercising our First Amendment rights. I'm not filming, I'm recording. There's no film in here. You just record everyone that comes through today, exercising our First Amendment rights to record in public. Exercising our First Amendment rights, and then we disseminate the interactions that we have with the public. Just to disseminate. We exercise our First Amendment right to record in public, and then we disseminate how people react to others exercising their rights in public.
But are you also discussing my right?
What is your right?
Not to be surveilled without purpose.
So, while in public, you have no expectation of privacy. So,
do. Wazoo rights are good.
So do I.
You don't have a right to privacy.
I have a right to have you get out of my face.
I'm not, ma'am, I am way over here. You're,
You know what? I can see.
okay,
I can see what's happening here.
okay,
And it's all about yourselves.
okay,
You care about no one else.
okay. You can believe that.
I do believe it.
All right, that's your freedom. You can't invade privacy because privacy doesn't exist.
Well, how can you say so?
There's no right to privacy when you're in public.
And if you have post office boxes?
Nope, it's a public building.
Yeah, but I don't think you're supposed to take pictures.
You absolutely can. In fact, there's a poster 7 right there on the wall that gives me express permission to do so.
It just doesn't seem very kind. It seems like you're just trying to
Kind.
cause trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, trouble.
Trouble would be the person calling me a troublemaker. What's that? I can't hear you. You got to come out a little bit more. What's that?
He doesn't want you to.
I don't want you to take pictures.
Okay. We're just filming all the businesses right here.
What?
We're just filming all the businesses.
You're just filming the
You
business.
have to ask before that.
What's that?
Is there something I can help you with?
Just taking some video.
Nothing specific.
No worries. So the only thing is that I've had a few customers that just say that they feel a little bit uncomfortable with you guys out here videotaping. And I already talked to my manager and she just said, unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you guys to not do that.
You're gonna ask us to not film while I'm standing on public property.
That is correct.
Well, we're gonna deny that request.
Okay. All right. Then I will call my manager back, tell her what you guys said. If depending on what she said that I may need to decide rather not do
Hey,
that. But if that's what I'm told to do, that's
let me
fine.
ask you a real question. Do you think that the police will come here and remove us from private property film or public property filming?
I do not know. I'm just trying
They're
to
not.
Hey, man, I'm just trying
Just
to
to give you a heads up, police already know that we're here. They're not gonna kick us off. They're not gonna kick us off of public property. There's no way in hell.
Okay. Sorry.
The cops will not kick us off of public property.
What am I doing? Well, what else would we do with cameras, sir? We're testing out the equipment today, getting images of license plates. You don't want inspection? It's free. We're just getting some pictures of all the license plates that come through today. For TikTok and YouTube.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't do any of that, so.
Don't worry. You got
Hey, you're missing out. Everyone will love you on there. You're missing out on all the fame.
My daughter is 57, so she'll be all.
And you're not married, right? There you go. You're single. There we go.
Just for grins or purpose or project?
I guess you could say it's just for greens. There you go. I like that. There you go. I haven't heard that one yet. Oh, we're doing a little story on front license plates and stuff. Making sure everyone has them. Just technically in California, you need a front license plate. Most cops, won't enforce it, but some of them, if they're having a bad day, they'll give you a ticket for it. So. Yep, the tinted windows. Yep. Like this dog right here. Yeah.
I don't blame him. If you're locking up the car, they can't see you.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but if you're inside the tinted vehicle at night, you can barely see out of it. You got to roll down your windows, basically.
What if you got them on the back window when you don't have the backup camera?
Yeah. So, just vehicle code violations. Mainly the front license plate, though, just because that's the easiest one to spot.
Yeah. What'd you do in there? Oh, just a follow up.
Nice.
Cats are free? Yeah. Yeah?
That's good. That's good, man. That's good.
Take home a cats and
Big seat right
Hey,
Yeah.
we gotta recognize it. Well, there's ways out of that.
Good luck today. Where do you guys post this?
YouTube and TikTok. Yeah.
First Amendment auditing. So check that out.
Yep.
First Amendment.
You'll find us.
I figured you were up to some kind of purpose or project.
Yeah, just working on some stories today. That's all.
Yeah. Good luck, gentlemen.
Oh, you have a wonderful day. How you doing, sir?
Good film.
So far, so good.
What are you doing there?
I pick up for
trade hats.
I'm a medical courier. This one's
I'm
too
gonna
bad.
step around.
My wife got me this one. No, but I do courier work, so I come in and out, and then I drive all around. So
That's cool.
you guys go anywhere else or just here?
We do all over Southern California. We do
okay.
some other states too.
That's what's up. Is there like a mission or like something specifically, or you just?
We're just out here exercising our First Amendment rights to record in public,
I love it.
and then we see how people respond and react to that.
Yeah, tripped out, but they don't care about the cameras that are always.
Yep, they don't care about the hundreds of cameras inside the medical building.
You get
Yep.
it. Yeah, I hear you guys. All right,
Take it easy,
thank you,
brother.
There is no limitation. We won't challenge completely. In the next generation, GMC Terrain AT4. We are professional grade.
I found over the years that the unknown can be more frightening than the known. So I encourage people to keep track of the questions they want to ask their healthcare team and to lean on them for information. To help start the conversation with your care team, download the Doctor Discussion Guide today.
Oh, there you go.
Love Impact Media, man.
Hey, thank you, man. You know the channel too, huh?
Yeah, man, I was just up there talking to those guys. I follow Impact and I follow another couple other auditors.
Did you see?
Auditors.
What'd you say?
I said I follow Impact Media and a couple other free speech auditors that are out there.
That's nice, man.
Like, that's up in New York, always good.
Which one is that? Long Island or? Oh yeah, Long Island audit. He's a big one, yeah. Yeah. Well,
but I think for content here, I'd be shocked if anybody got a reaction.
oh, you really? We've almost got hit like 4 times. People are crazy around here, bro. Apparently, I didn't people been yelling at me for taking pictures of the plane all day, and
Cops get it though.
they showed up last time we were here, and they asked what we were doing, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yep. Yep.
I don't want to give any of my rights away.
Exactly. Yep. It's good to exercise your right before you lose it, man. Exactly. Right, sister.
The Bill of Rights, that venerable appendage to our Constitution, enumerate the plethora of inalienable rights, safeguarding individual liberties from governmental encroachment. Foremost amongst these sacraments resides the First Amendment.
Tomorrow you has deadlines, boxes to check. But tonight you